I'll just go like.
No, I'm the last one.
Okay.
I'm Connie, and welcome to our third webinar of this informative webinar session that is named Master Days 2019. And today, me and my colleague Carolis will have a webinar with representatives of Breda University of Applied Sciences. So please remember that during all our webinar, you can write questions, and then at the end, we will answer to it. And yes, so this great Breda University of Applied Sciences is in the Netherlands, Breda City, and has 7 master programs. And as our representatives have prepared a lot of information for you to listen, let's start. I see our Dutch team is already prepared, so please introduce yourself.
Okay, shall we begin?
Yeah.
Let's see. So, hello everybody. My name is Bram. I work for the marketing department at Breda University of Applied Sciences, and I'm here today with 3 of my colleagues who I'll quickly introduce.
Hi, my name is Ineke. I work for the Tourism and Destination Management Master Program.
Hello, I'm Thais. I am a Master Imagineering student.
Hi, my name is Kim. I'm in the Master Leisure and Tourism Studies.
So first off, I will start with some basic information about Breda and our university, and then we will quickly go through all 5 of our main master programs. So, are you possibly coming to Holland next year or in the future to do one of our master studies? Well, why would you choose to come to the Netherlands? Well, first of all, we are a nice and small little country with a little over 17 million people, with over 160 different nationalities from all across the world. Breda is a great city because you're quickly connected to multiple big cities around the Netherlands as well as Belgium. So you can be in Amsterdam with an hour. You can go to Paris within 3 hours, and you can pretty much go anywhere where you want. Right now we have over 112,000 international students studying right here in the Netherlands, which is also great because we are very high in our English proficiency. So if you don't speak Dutch, that's not a problem, because we will always be able to speak English with you. So why should you come specifically to Breda? We are a true student city with over 21,000 students. And because of all these students, we have a lot of events and parties and other get-togethers for all our students from all around the world, from all different backgrounds and study courses. So what do we, as in Breda University of Applied Sciences, offer for you? So we have different domains, namely tourism, leisure, hotel, facility, logistics, built environment, games and media. And all these courses have their respective bachelor programs, and 5 of them also have their own master programs. So what makes our own university unique? As I said before, we have a central location in Europe. We are now working on a green campus, which should be ready by 2020. And we're a government-funded education institute, which means that pretty much all our programs are at a reduced cost of around 2,300 euros. We have a lot of international events going on, and we work with a lot of international businesses all around the world, which are at the top of their field. We also got a lot of awards. We've been in the top of our educational system for the past few years. and we have a lot of international recognition, again, all around the world. So these are the 5 master degrees we're going to talk about today: the Master in Games Technology, the Master of Engineering, the Master of Science, Leisure and Tourism Studies, the Master of Tourism Destination Management, and the Master in Media Innovation. So I'll quickly start off with the games course. The Master in Games Technology is a fairly research and development focused course, which works together with a lot of industry companies, going from Guerrilla here in Amsterdam to Ubisoft, Electronic Arts, and many other companies all around the world. We have strong supervision guided by teachers who have active working experience from the industry, and it's very self-directed learning. Your goal lies with a focus on educating towards craft excellence. All our students are given the opportunity to enhance and improve their skill set to become industry experts in their own field, which means that you will be prepared to the fullest to get that little bit of advantage when you're done with our course and roll out into the industry. So the academic year consists of 4 blocks of 10 weeks, and each block has its own little theme that goes around it. So in your first block, you will be doing your concepting, you will set up your research question and look into your methodologies and perform a literature review. After which in block B, you will continue with your question and start with the pre-production and data collection. In block C, you will start the full production of your topic, and we'll start creating the programs and the things so you can start doing your analysis and start write your conclusion. And in block D, you will release your topic, your findings, and you can add it to your portfolio and start sharing it with the rest of the world. So our philosophy is that we're international and a culturally diverse environment. You take responsibility for your own learning and innovation. So we try to push everybody to their fullest extent so we can see some interesting and great new projects coming to life. It's important to share your work, especially in the games industry. You need to get it out there, because with more feedback, you can go just a little bit further. It would be great if you have a game development background and are able to work autonomously, and it's a full-time 1-year program, and it's very crucial that you'll be there during every class. So for the intake process, you can go through the Kastu website, but it's important that you upload your CV, a copy of your passport, a motivational letter, your diploma, and a grade list, and all the further information will come through Kastu directly. For your project proposal, it's important that you provide a clear and focused subject and goal that is relevant to the current industry, both for the game development industry as well as its community. You need to have some evidence of fundamental skills and knowledge, and you need to revise your project through the year so you can achieve the goal in the best way possible. So in summary, this is the first government-funded professional master in games technology with a tuition fee of only 2,083 euros. It's a unique combination of both theoretical and practical work. You're working with an international team of lecturers in the field of game technology, while also having close cooperation with international partners all around the world. And you'll often get some input and feedback from our industry relations. Imagineering. So now I'll pass you on for our next master.
Hello guys, I am Thais. I am originally from Brazil. I'm here following the Master Imagineering. Imagineering, where is it? Imagineering is a blended word between imagination and engineering. Maybe who are interested in this course probably saw something related to the Walt Disney, but this concept was actually older than Walt Disney. Walt Disney just make it famous. But basically what it means is we use the collective imaginations of the stakeholders, employees or customers, whatever are the stakeholders, to co-create and develop solutions together. So Imagineering started with Alcoa. It's in the beginning of 19th, and now we are in the called Imagineering 3.0. Well, Imagineering is basically it's based on the concept that the times are changing. The last 2 or 3 decades, we are going through what they call the big shift of the humanity. Now we are more connected. We live in a complex world. So what we believe is that we cannot solve the current problems doing exactly what we did before to create this problem. So in this complex world, we need to create new strategies to solve and create solutions and grow. Basically, we talk about the complicated. We have some difference about complicated and complex problems. In complicated problems, it's like when you need to go to the moon. We just have a very complicated and hard problem to solve. But whatever, when you discover how to go, you can go. And more important than go, it's you have to know how to be back. But then it's it's what we call a complicated problem that you can solve with a fixed solution. But for complex problem like poverty, environment problems, or maybe grown children, it's something that you don't have a recipe. You have to know while the time is going. So for this, you need a new methodology, and it's basically what Imagineering we created at BUAS. We call the Imagineering methodology, and this we design for evolution by using the imagination of individual agents by creating small interventions that grow and transform. So in the Imagineering, we use not. I'm sorry. Here, So in 2006, Imagineering started to BUAS University. In the Imagineering course, we have some basic elements to select people as new students. And one of them is based on diversity, because we believe that putting people together and working with diversity, we can find new solutions for problems and innovation. And for the Master Imagineering, there are 3 basic different kind of diversity. One is a different background. Another one is a diverse nationality, and also diverse different ages. But so far we have more than 240 students from 25 nationalities. Now in my course, in my class, we have about 15 different nationalities. So the core of program, Imagineering is divided in 3 big blocks. In the first block, we introduce the base of the concepts like complex theory, appreciative inquiry, and the different theories to give you a background or base to develop the next step. The next step we will give you, it's called the ideation phase, in block 2. Each block is takes 6 weeks. So in the second block, they teach us how to some tools to facilitate process and to provoke these transformations. And the block 3, we call it implementation phase. So in this phase, we work with companies. Now, in my class, we are running this block 3, and we are working in a business case. We are helping a company in China, a Dutch company in China, to reframe the business model as a training company, and we are helping them to design a new business model to apply over there. When we finish this block, we have a field trip. This year we are going to Iceland. We are going to spend 2 weeks there, and there we also have some assignments. We are working with some local companies. This year we have the challenges are related to gender equity and also sustainability. That's a very interesting subject over Iceland. When we are back, we go to the last phase of the course, where we call application company. It's a kind of internship where we apply what we learned in these 6 first months. So we are going to apply and produce a paper that is not called our master thesis, but we transform this master thesis in a paper, and then we are ready for the market. Well, this is some things about the application company where we can apply our knowledge, and here we can see some of the former partners where people could apply their research. Well, here we can also find later some links where our colleagues talk about the master, some former students also. In this link, you can find a lot of different papers from the former years. It's nice to take a look and know exactly what you are going to do for the end of the course. Okay, I think that's it for now. Next one, it's about Master in Media Innovation.
That's me again. So I'm back now for the Master in Media Innovation. So once more, it's a 1-year master program where you'll hopefully get your full 6 ECTS. It's once again a government-funded program, and so the tuition fee for EU students is just over 2,000 euros. You'll go through 4 thought modules: media theory, media technology, business, research, and communication studies. And every part of that is well, spread out over your year. So first you'll start with the media theory, where it's the case that you have to open your mind and lay the foundations for everything to come. So you'll go deeper into into narrative theory, transmedia storytelling, and game design. After which the next block you'll go into media technology, which will prepare you to deal with the rapidly changing technological media landscape. The media is changing at a daily basis pretty much, and here you will look into how you can cope with that, with emerging technologies. How can you jump in with new technologies? How do you do rapid prototyping or use user testing to improve your own product down the line? You look into business, so we'll make sure that you understand how the relationship between business and innovation works. If you have a new product that you want to sell over the globe, how does the intellectual property law work? Do you have to register your project? How do you set up your company to make sure that everything goes at a legal way? How do you deal with consumer behavior, and so on? But you'll also look into the research and communication side. So you'll have to do some research on how your product will change the landscape. How do you select which is good, which is wrong? How does media affect the world? So you'll go into more of a scientific context. Here are some industry cases we've worked with in the past. So you can see KLM, the plane company, Samsung, as well as Ziggo, a Dutch television provider. So in the end, you'll start your graduation phase, which will bring all the previous pieces together. You will start writing your thesis to make sure that your product is ready for to get shared with around the world. You will write a report about your product and will make sure that everything you've researched throughout the year is ready to be read by everybody else and to hopefully conquer the media landscape. Some other examples of companies we've worked with before: Warner Bros, Unilever, RTL, another broadcasting company, our own university, and a VR company. So with this media course, you'll be able to go over a bunch of different companies who use media, which these days is pretty much every company. Once again, a summary. This master program will provide you with in-depth knowledge of digital media processes and will bridge the gap between the theory and the practical sides of media studies. It will teach you some analytical skills. It will help you design and deliver concepts and how to go through all these phases. Once again, it's the first government-funded master's program in the field of media in the Netherlands. And also our staff members have close relations with the industry all around the world. Which one? That's a good one. Destination.
Hi, my name is Ineke. I'm responsible for the coordination of the Master in Tourism Destination program. I will tell you something more about the program, some general information, something about the structure of the program, something what we think makes this master a unique program, and well, some personal experiences I cannot share because I haven't done the program, so I skipped that one. This is a professional master. Program takes 1 year. We start every year in September. And it should be possible for you to graduate within the year, although it's going to be very hard working and it's going to be a close call, but it should be possible. The program is funded by the Dutch government. That means that for people from the EU, EEA citizens, they can participate in the program for only €2,083 per year. For this program, there will be some additional costs as well, but I will talk to you about that because that's mainly in phase 2. Well, what can you do after this master program? That's a question we get a lot. It's a very wide program, so you can do many things. It depends on what you prefer and what your background is in. So we don't have only students with a tourism background in the program, but also with business or communication or whatsoever. So you can either go into a management position at a tourism company. Many students also end up in a consultancy position because we have close contacts with many governmental stakeholders during the program. Some people prefer to start working in those areas, or some students prefer to do a PhD after this program. Sometimes you need another pre-master to enter a PhD, but there are some international PhD programs which you can do immediately after this master program. Okay, the structure of the program is also split into 3 phases. The first one is in Breda. The second one is the Asia Pacific, in the Asia Pacific region. And the third one you can do wherever you want in the world. So I'll go through all the phases with you. The first one starts in September and is until the end of January. This is the theoretical phase. This is where you get all the classes, the lectures, the workshops, where we teach you the theory and we prepare you for phase 2, where you bring everything into practice. We split this period in 3 times a period of 6 weeks. In those 6 weeks you have different modules, and there will be some other courses that will be all over the period. So they start in September and end in the end of January. Okay, these are the modules that are taught this year. Every year we evaluate the program and see if we need to change something. But for this year, this is the first 6 weeks we started with the marketing courses. After that, 6 weeks of destination stakeholder management, and then 6 weeks about development and finance. And the context-related research, projects and methodology and team performance are courses that are taught over the whole year. So they start in September and will go on until the end of January or even in phase 2. We also this year started with preparing for your graduation already from the start of the program. So when you enter, we immediately ask you on what topic you want to do your thesis on. So that's going to be strange maybe, but it will help you in the end to graduate in time. Then phase 2, the main reason why a lot of students choose this program, because you're going to travel for 3 months to the Asia Pacific region, to 3 different destinations. Let's see. We choose these destinations because of the 3 distinct types of tourism destination management. And I think there's no slide, so I'll go back. There are 3 destinations. The first one is an urban destination that is usually somewhere in Australia. We have been to Sydney, to Brisbane, to Melbourne, to Perth, I think. So over there you will have a look at what is the management, the destination management in an urban area. What needs to be done to develop the area even more for tourism, or what does the future look like? You're going to do research over there. You're going to talk to a lot of stakeholders, and you're going to report on that by the end of the month. The second destination is a destination that is still developing. We have been in the past to Myanmar, to Sri Lanka, to Cambodia, so different areas where there is tourism already, but still a lot to develop. So that is a totally different point of view to look at the situation and to do research on and to give an advice to the stakeholders over there. Stakeholders can be people working for the government, but also commercial companies, but also local people. We look at the political situation at an area. So there are many different topics that you need to take into consideration with the developments on a future of the destination. Then the last destination is an overdeveloped destination. And the last couple of years we went to Bali. Bali is, of course, well, not only tourism, but there is a lot of tourism over there. It is well developed. So over there, you're going to give advice to the stakeholders over there to see like, okay, how can we even develop more, or do we need to strengthen the things that we already have, or let's say we don't want to have any growth anymore, so how do we spread it more? So 3 totally different areas seen from different points of view, and you will be gone from February until the beginning of May to this area, and you will travel with the whole group. The lectures will visit you at the start and at the end of each destination, and you have to do your presentations by the end of the destinations for a group of lecturers, but also at the end to some local stakeholders. Then I go the wrong way, sorry. Okay. Then after phase 2, it's phase 3, and that is the dissertation phase. This is an individual phase that you have to write your thesis. Like I just told you in phase 1 already, we stimulate you to start thinking about a topic that you want to do your research on. So you already have to write your proposal in phase 1 before you leave for the field research project. And then in phase 3, so immediately after the field research, you're going to start writing your thesis and do research, and you can do that anywhere in the world. A lot of students pick a destination somewhere where they come from. We have many international students in the program. This year, 17 nationalities. Lots of students pick an area that they know well, and they want to contribute to the development of that region, and they want to do research over there, but you're allowed to do it anywhere in the world. You just have to come back to Breda for your oral defense around the thesis. It is quite a unique program. The uniqueness is mainly in phase 2, because we travel for 3 months. You do a lot of research in groups. It's a combination of theory and practical things in the program, and it is a very international classroom. What I just told you, this year we had 42 students, and I think 35% was Dutch, and all the others were international students from 17 different nationalities. So you can imagine what a cultural situation that brings along. Okay, if you want to have more information, you can contact Kastu, and they will tell you more or bring you into contact with us. Thank you for your attention.
Welcome, my name is Kim. I'm doing the Master Leisure and Tourism Studies at Breda University of Applied Science. So what is leisure? Actually, leisure is a very broad phenomenon. Basically, we're all experiencing leisure at this contemporary society. Leisure tourism is a major economic sector in the Netherlands. Currently in the Netherlands, there are 30,000 to 50,000 people working in the sector, with approximately 36 billion turnover a year. So you can imagine what kind of a big impact it has in the Netherlands. So it's more than just doing some stuff in your free time. It's doing sports, it's shopping, it's visiting a museum, going theme park, watching a movie, etc. We're basically all around leisure all the time. So here are a few companies in the Netherlands where it's related to leisure. For example, people can work in the transport, in the catering, in city marketing, municipality. It's a broad phenomenon. Because nowadays, what I just mentioned, we live in a network society where we're always connected to each other based on local, regional, national, and international networks. So basically nowadays, leisure is used to create and maintain networks through online, social media, gaming, going out. And networks also provide their opportunities to structure preferred leisure lifestyles. So it's a very integral and multidisciplinary perspective. Is what we focus on is we focus more on the strategy issues and how we can develop long-term solutions for companies. We also, it's a very scientific program that we're doing a lot of research, analyzing, and developing new theories to improve leisure companies. The master is in English. It's a very intensive program, means that we're working in very small groups. So we all also stimulate self-activation. For this year, my class are around 12 people. So, but that's actually an advantage for all of us because we're very close to other lecturers. Basically, the doors of their office is always open, so we can always go to them, ask questions, and we're also very close in class to ask questions to each other. So we are also trained in the analytical, research, relational, and presentation skills. So we focus especially on qualitative research and quantitative research. We're doing a lot with statistics. So the program, it exists of 2 semesters of 15 and 20 weeks each. So the first semester, half a year, you can get 30 ECs from it with the 6 courses: creative in space, understanding leisure and tourism, attraction and event, imagineering, what the class also mentioned before. She's doing a master's in imagineering, but we are just doing a small part of that as a course in our study program. And the second semesters we're doing our thesis, where you get 24 ECTs for that. So basically, that is the key point of our leisure and tourism program. That's also called the leisure triangle. I will also explain that later on with the courses that we're following for that. So we find it important to generate leisure content. So what's actually happening through storytelling and narrative. The second is that we're focused on the process of designing leisure. So how do we want to do that? That's, for example, through imagineering and entrepreneurship. And the third one is that we want to focus on the context for leisure. So what's actually going on besides the leisure activity itself. So we focus on spaces and events where that happens. So those are the perspectives that we analyze and try to understand the leisure practices that people are doing. So first, at the leisure content through storytelling and narrative, we want to look at what kind of experience people have, what do they actually look for, and how is there a way that they can co-create their leisure activities. So we have, for example, experience marketing. That's a course that we're doing in the first semester. So for that, you're actually working with another company. You have to look for one yourself. So I'm working, for example, with Holland Casino. That is more focused on a quantitative research, where we doing a survey with their customers. How do they experience the casino? What do they need for? Do they feel satisfied there? So, for example, other classmates, they're doing that for a theme parks, for Walibi, Efteling, or other companies. You have totally freedom to choose one yourself. So the second one, where you want to focus on the process of designing leisure experience through imagineering and entrepreneurship. So how do we, the consumers, the producers, policymakers, organize themselves in collaborative networks to co-create leisure activities? So instead of just doing the activity, we just want to create a way where we can design one ourselves. For example, nowadays we have a say in designing clothes or shoes for online, or if we want to order them, we can customize certain products. So that's what we are going for too. So the third one is looking for the context for the leisure experience, where we focus more on the space and event. And we want to define what the context is where the leisure experience happen. What is the role of events in society? How do they place the attractions where we're going? How do they look like? What kind of a city is it where the festival takes place? We're looking deeper than just the place itself. And the job opportunities is very diverse in the leisure and tourism studies. You can end up working for the policy development. You can work for the university at our own academy, for example. You can go teaching. You can work in urban management and city marketing for the cities. You can also end up in a project management or marketing, or just market research and consultancy. It's very diverse, and a lot of people actually don't end up working in the leisure sector, but also in another sector, because the qualities and skills that you learn here through the qualitative and quantitative research, you can basically apply to a broad many jobs in the Netherlands. And if you want to see more examples, you can follow the alumni network Lutus that is on LinkedIn, where a lot of alumni are members of. So here you have an overview of the organizations where our alumni end up working. So as you can see, a lot of are end up work in the commercial sector, also in the government is also a big part. And you see that 5.58% is working in another sector outside of the leisure and tourism industry. And so the positions, actually a lot of them end up working for as manager, director, and an advisor consultancy. And you also see that 22.5 is working in as another position. So if you want further information, you can sign up for one of the orientation days, or you can send an email to the leisurestudies@boers.nl and asking for a program director. And for as a non-native English speaker, you will also be required to have passed on one of the following tests. For questions, you can go to the website katsu.pl.
So I will close our presentation off with a little bit of more information about our campus. So as I said in the beginning, we are working on a new location where we are right now. Renovation of the historical convent where we are started back in 2017. The first few programs started with their classes right here this year. And by next academic year, everything should be done, which means that all our programs, both bachelor and master programs, will be at the same location here in the city center. This is kind of what it's going to look like. So it will be a lot of green, a lot of open space, and a great place to meet up with teachers or students to work on your program. So in summary, why should you study in Breda? It's a small and safe city. We only have about 180,000 inhabitants. There's a lot of entertainment, both outside with meetups, but we also have a theater and a cinema and a lot of sporting activities available. And there are events organized all year round. So that was our presentation. I hope you got the information that you were looking for. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to help you out.
Yes, so thank you, Bram and your colleagues. So we have a few more questions and I will read them. And then I hope you will be able to answer them. So the question is, first question is, can you tell us something more about your study program? It sounds very interesting. So this question was written when Bram, you were talking about your program, and maybe you can tell more about it.
Which one was it?
Then you have been talking about game program.
The game program. Well, it's a very like I said during the presentation, it's a nice mix between theory and creativity. So we've had students that one of my friends who did the masters last year, he created a fully working animation skeletal for characters, which was very new and improved and very high level, which is pretty much he went to the amount of detail that they're using in animation studios like Pixar or AAA games, like the newest games that are coming out right now, like Red Dead Redemption and such. So the intention of the program is to pick a small thing that you like or that you want to know more about and go as deep as you can to improve the things to the next level. Like there are always things that can be improved within games creation. I mean, games from 20 years ago look nothing like they do today. And with this program, we try to invent new ways to game creation, both on the art side or the programming side, to go full procedural and such. And in that way, we want to improve the games industry as a whole.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sounds very interesting. And also another question is it possible to study remotely?
No. For all our programs, it's necessary that you're here in Breda on location.
Okay. And also, other question: is it hard to find accommodation in Breda?
That's a tough question. It really depends on when you start looking for accommodation and what your price range is for your room. If you start looking early, we have a few websites that help specifically international students with finding a room. So if you're really into Breda University and want to come to the Netherlands, get in touch with our student office or start looking for a room as soon as possible, because once the year starts or the last few weeks before, it will be a lot harder to find a room than if you would start looking, say, right now or next month.
Yeah, okay, sounds great. Yeah, and our time is up, and thank you everybody who have participated in this webinar, and also those who have signed up for Skype talk. Please be online, and Bram will contact you shortly for Skype talks, so you can ask him questions about studies in Breda. So thank you all who have participated, and thank you, Bram, and your team. And yeah, see you later.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.